Do you know what stimming is? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Stick around, that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back, Blue Peas crew. Today we're going to talk about autistic stimming. Some may have heard about it, some may not. But it is something that a lot of autistic children and adults do. It's something that a lot of times with children, they may do it in public, at school, out and about. There are times you may see adults as well doing it out and about, or maybe something that they may do privately. So it's not always something that's seen. A lot of times you may just be around friends and family and you kind of notice a child doing different things. You're like, just kind of wondering, what are they doing? A lot of times, whatever they may be doing, honestly, you may just think it's just something that children do. You may not even recognize or realize that they're stimming. Actually, everyone stims. Everyone has something that actually could be a stim. But a lot of times with children or adults on the spectrum, it may be sometimes something that is more noticeable. That's why it may stand out a little more sometimes. And a lot of times what they're doing is they are stimming. So what is stimming? Stimming is self-stimulatory behavior. It's something that's self-soothing to the person. Something that's, helping them calm down from whatever is going on that they may need calming down from. With stimming, you may have verbal stems, you have visual stems, you have oral stems, you have stems that are related to taste and smell. And also too, you have tactile stems. So those are all the different stems that someone on the spectrum, those are different things that they may do if you do see them. So with stimming, as far as my boys, and if you don't know, I do have 3 children that are on the spectrum, and they are on different ends of the spectrum, high to low. So it does vary. It's a spectrum. It's a variety. It varies. And so with my children, I would say I've seen it in all of them. With my child, who he's considered with his diagnosis high functioning, honestly, it's not something that really stands out. I don't even know if he does it much, even in his school day, to be quite honest with you. But he may have times if he does like hand flap. That is something we noticed as he was growing up, as he was a child. Also too, I noticed things when he's watching TV shows. He may repeatedly want to go back to a scene. That's part of stimming, when it repeatedly just wanting to watch the same thing over again for a little bit. So that's something there. With my twins, with Bryce, he does a variety actually. He does verbal, he does visual. Those are like his main stems. So he definitely has a verbal, like he just makes different sounds and he just likes doing that, and he'll do it for a while. Also too, he has the visual that he'll do with the fingers and different objects, things like that. With Brayden, he does mostly a lot of verbal stems. He does a lot of verbal stems, and for a long time, that was mostly what he was doing verbally. Over time, we have seen it shaped into different sounds, and now he's actually starting to talk and speak. So it's wonderful. But that is something he does. And then he also does the visual as well. He has different things he watches on the iPad, and he will kind of constantly watch the same thing. Honestly, partly it is a stem, and then we noticed partly it's actually a part of him learning, because he's actually learning a lot, and now he's showing us. We're seeing just a lot of things through therapy, and just in general, he's like really just showing like how he's just broadened, and he's just like opened up, and like, wow, like he's really growing up. And he does not talk like conversation and things of that nature, but it's obvious that he's learned a lot and he knows a lot. And so now he's actually just getting to the point now where he's verbally communicating. He started with the pegs, with the iPad. and now he's starting to talk. So it's just kind of that transition. That's how it goes a lot of times. So with that stemming behavior, for us, I'm going to be quite honest. Some people may ask the question, is it good or is it bad? We don't think it's a bad thing. With that, for us, the stemming, that is a way that you're trying to soothe yourself. So it's not a bad thing. It could be rocking. Braden did do that a long time as a child. He did do rocking. He would just sit and he would rock. And he's soothing, he's trying to calm himself down. As far as the stem, it could be a situation where if they are hurting themselves or hurting someone else, okay, that is a stem. You know, that it does have to be stopped. It does have to be worked on. But if it's not something where they're hurting themselves or hurting anybody else, I don't think it's a bad thing. With ABA therapy, they do help them in ABA therapy. They do help them to understand when it's okay to stem, how to control it when you're taking breaks, because there are times for a child or your student, you have to learn. So you're in the classroom and you have to learn. If you're working, you're focused on work. And so you just can't stem for hours on end. But you can get breaks. You can have time when you do stem. So that's just mostly our thing with it. So it's not to cut it out completely. It's not to be done with, stemming or it's bad. No. It's just something where they have to learn to control it, to know, when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate. And I think that's the same thing for all of us. We all have things and we have to learn when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate. So for us, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. That's a way that they need to release themselves. That's their way of getting that break. And so we're fine with that. I'm going to be quite honest with you. There are times we are so used to it now, it's really a part of our life. There are times we honestly don't think nothing of it. We don't think much of it. I'm going to be honest with you because we're so used to it now. But I can say too, as an honest parent, there are times when it can work your nerve too. And you're like, but still, as we've learned and, we've accepted a lot of things about our children, it's nothing bad, it's nothing chastising. It's just we have to learn to, maybe we do something else or maybe we go to another location. That's fine, but they're not doing anything wrong. It's nothing like that. They're not being a bad child. It's just nothing like that at all. So that's our stance on it. So hey, I'm just being honest. There are times it can go for hours and you're like, wow. And then sometimes it doesn't. So basically, that's stemming. So guys, please comment, like, subscribe. Do you know anyone who stems, or maybe after me speaking about it a little bit, maybe have you changed your thoughts on stemming, whether you thought it was good or bad? Please let us know. Thanks for watching. Bye.